Okay, we are live, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Street. I will call this meeting to order at 6:32 p.m. with a formal territorial acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the municipality of Brighton is located on the Mississauga-Anishinaabeg territory and is the traditional territory of the Mississauga. The Council of the Municipality of Brighton respectfully acknowledges that the Mississauga Nation are the collective stewards and caretakers of these lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come. I will also advise that due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, this meeting is being held via electronic conference technology. Members of council and staff are all engaging in tonight's meeting through video conference, and the public is invited to join us by viewing this meeting live on the Municipality of Brighton YouTube channel. I will also note that once we read the motion to proceed into closed session, we will end the live YouTube stream and we will not re-engage the YouTube stream for the duration of the meeting. And that takes us to the approval of the agenda. So I'll need a motion that council approve the April 26th, 2021 special council agenda as presented. Is there a mover?
Sure.
By Councillor Rowley, seconded by Councillor Bateman. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Councillor Ron Anderson,
Yes.
Councillor Mark Bateman,
Sorry, I had a question. I don't know if you saw my hand, Mayor.
I did not, sorry.
I'd like to put a motion on the floor to have this session in open. Because under section 239, I know I fully understand there's 14 exemptions that you can have a closed session, but only 12 of which are discretionary. And this being a refresher training, I'm not sure that we need to have it in closed.
So that would be, so the motion is to approve the agenda as presented. I don't have any blank forms, Madam Clerk. I'm assuming Councillor Bateman, you would want us to move what is section 6 and just do the entire midterm integrity refresher under section 4 in open session.
Correct.
We've already started the vote, Madam Clerk. Is that, I'm going to allow the amendment just to see if that's what council wants to do.
Excuse me, Mayor, I will second that motion whenever you're ready to read it.
You. So it's moved by Councillor Bateman, seconded by Councillor Tadman, that the agenda be amended to conduct the training in open session under section 4 of the agenda. Is there any discussion from members of council? Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
I'm just wondering if we could get advice from our clerk or from staff as to why we're going into closed, so we all fully understand and whether or not it's okay to do this in open.
Why don't we take advice from our integrity commissioners who are right here on the line?
Even better.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Mayor and Council, and good evening to everyone. This evening has been designed as a training session for members of council under the education and training provision of the Municipal Act. And there's a reason why we do it that way, and it's because we believe that education and training occurs best when it's done in an actual classroom format. We run our sessions as if they were university level or college level seminars. And so unlike a traditional council meeting with a structured approach, we're there at the head of the classroom as coaches and teachers drawing out conversation from which you will learn and discuss and absorb the content of the presentation. We have done these in two different ways, and we can tell you assuredly that they are much more effective when they are conducted in closed session, as you're entitled to do under the Municipal Act.
Does that satisfy your question, Deputy Mayor? Thank you, Councillor Tadman.
First of all and foremost, I think that we all agree that we always want as much as possible transparency and accountability. And I think everybody knows the rules well enough now to know that we would not speak in a way that would defame or upset any person, council, mayor, staff, anybody. So that was my one point. And I also think that the public would be, those who'd be interested would like to know just what the whole policy is that surrounds an integrity commissioner, because after all, they're the ones that pay the bills. The other thing I don't understand is why we have so many staff involved if they aren't a part of the original to begin with when we were first on council this time. And also because staff, I understand, has their own code of conduct, but we don't have the opportunity to take them to the integrity commissioner if we feel that they have done something that we feel wasn't I don't want to use the word, say, lying about something, and I know that's not a good term, but if I question a person's integrity, I have nowhere to go except to the CIO, and that doesn't necessarily answer my question. So I can't understand why so many staff are involved in this, for one thing. And it almost, as this is the first time I've ever had since 2003, a refresher course again on integrity. So I question that too. Why are we spending money to refresh something that we already have been through? So those are my concerns.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions on the motion? Councillor LeBlanc?
Yes, I was surprised to hear from the Integrity Commissioner. I got two questions for him. One, when he started this presentation, he said it was made for council only. The second one is if we're enclosed and nothing can come out of closed. So if you're going to give us training in closed, how do we apply it out into the municipality without breaking the closed door policy and not repeating it?
I can't respond. I see the clerk wishes to speak to the issue.
You go ahead, Jeffrey, if you want to.
Yes, thank you. And first of all, the session is designed for members of council, to be sure, but we also wish to include senior staff, because you together form the directing mind of the municipality, council leading and council forming its policies, and senior staff implementing those policies. And of course, senior staff work very closely with council, and frankly, ethical behavior is a collaborative thing. You need to work together in order to achieve it. So if we said that was for council only, we were misspoken. This session is designed to be given to members of council and members of senior staff. Now, with respect to the disclosure of the information, the record of today's meeting is available, the record being the presentation slide deck, if anybody wishes to see it. And that's a provision that's embedded in the Municipal Act in the very special section that deals with education and training in closed session. So that the document itself will be open, and you can discuss the document itself. The reason we recommend that this session be conducted in closed session is so that there can be a frank discussion, and so that it can be run like a classroom and not like a council meeting. So we have no anticipation that anybody here will be using defamatory language in closed session or open session. That's not the point. The point is that training is most effectively done when it is done in the way we suggest, which is in a classroom setting in closed session.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Also, The first training that council did was down at the fire hall, and all senior staff was involved in that training as well. We all sat in. That's why I included all senior staff again with this training. And I'm the one that put it together, and I also was the one that sent it out to all of council and senior staff when I was requesting for this refresher. So I don't know where you understand that. Like senior staff has always been involved in integrity training.
At the end of the day, I would like to see senior staff at all of our meetings. So I'll just throw that one out there for future reference. Councillor Anderson.
Yes, I agree with the integrity commissioner. I remember when we had that training, there's a lot of discussion that takes place for example, and we're given example, and then we also ask questions and use scenarios and that type of thing to try to get the better understanding of the learning. And I suspect that's how it could go this time too. And so with that, I think it's proper to, I like the classroom idea. I like the fact that we're all together here. And let's call it something else if it's not training, then it's a public meeting. So I think it's training. So I'm going to support the agenda the way it originally was written, and that's where I'll be.
Anything further before I call the vote? Councillor LeBlanc?
Through you, Your Honor. For integrity, thank you for correcting that first statement. So from what I get from what you've said, what happens in this closed door meeting, we're allowed to use.
No, Councillor, I'll correct you on that. In fact, I would hope that there'd be a level of trust so that just like in Las Vegas, the things that are said in closed session remain in closed session, particularly when we're testing out ideas and trying to examine the concepts that we're going to be rolling out for you. What I did say, Councillor, was the slide deck, which is the record of the meeting today, would be available to anybody who asks for it. So the slide deck is quite substantive. It contains, it looks 62 slides right now, not going through each of them in detail, but all of that information will be available if you wish to refer to outside of the closed session meeting.
Thank you. Anything further? Councillor Tadman?
Excuse me, is the in-camera session going to be recorded?
Madam Clerk?
I think we can we not, Tom? Can we record through the Zoom?
We can, yeah, if that's council's
Yeah.
wish.
That's what we should do.
So the answer is yes, that will be recorded through the Zoom technology. Any further questions, comments? Deputy Mayor?
Can you just clarify what motion we're going to be voting on?
That the agenda be amended to conduct the training in open session under section 4 of the agenda. So that's what we're voting on right now. Madam Clerk, will you please call the vote?
Councillor Ron Anderson,
No.
Councillor Mark Bateman,
Yes.
Councillor Doug LeBlanc,
Yes.
Councillor Emily Rowley,
No.
Councillor Mary Tadman,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Laura Vink,
No.
Mayor Brian Ostrander.
No.
It's defeated.
Thank you. That takes us back to our original motion moved by Councillor Rowley, seconded by Councillor Bateman, that council approve the April 26th, 2021 special council agenda as presented. Any further comments on that? Madam Clerk, will you please call the vote?
Councillor Ron Anderson,
Yes.
Councillor Mark Bateman,
Yes.
Councillor Doug LeBlanc,
No.
Councillor Emily Rowley,
Yes.
Councillor Mary Tadman,
No.
Deputy Mayor Laura Vink,
Yes.
Mayor Brian Ostrander,
Yes.
and it's carried.
Thank you. Members of council, will you let us know if you have any pecuniary interests? And if so, please state the general nature thereof. There are none noted. The topic of tonight's special council meeting is midterm integrity refresher. Before we move along onto the agenda and go into closed session, is there any questions or comments from the presenters at this stage for the open session? I think probably all the information was given through the questions and answers in the motion to amend the agenda. Are there any questions or any comments from members of staff before we move on along the agenda? Mr. Castleman, anything?
Not from my end.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Nope.
Thank you. And Madam Clerk, I'm moving on to question period. Are you aware of anyone who has come forward or will be coming forward to ask a question from members of council with regard to tonight's agenda?
No, I have not received any emails.
Thank you. It takes us to number 6 on our agenda. And I'll need a motion that council resolve itself into closed session April 26, 2021 at 6:48 p.m. pursuant to the Ontario Municipal Act 2001 as amended, subsection 239. 3.1, the meeting is held for the purpose of educating or training the members. Midterm integrity refresher. Is there a mover? Moved by Deputy Mayor Vink and seconded by Councillor Anderson. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, will you please call the vote?
Councillor Ron Anderson,
Yes.
Councillor Mark Bateman,
Yes.
Councillor Doug LeBlanc,
Yes.
Councillor Emily Rowley,
Yes.
Councillor Mary Tadman,
I guess it's the only way I get in to say yes.
yes. Deputy Mayor Laura Vink,
Yes.
Mayor Brian Ostrander,
Yes.
that's carried.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So we will now end the live